Biggest drive of the game. Fourth quarter, Super Bowl berth on the line. Long drive to try and make it to the Super Bowl. Let's see how Matt Stafford fared against the Seahawks defense.
That's is required at the end of the game and win it.
All right, man. Look, fourth quarter, down 4 points. There's effectively 12 minutes left in the game. I'm liking these playoffs, bro. Because look, we're getting back to the strategic emphasis, field position battle, and just purity of football. This ends up being effectively the last drive of the game. I mean, Seattle has to get a couple first downs later on to ice the game, but aside from that, this is effectively the last possession of the game, and it ends up being that. But in a lot of cases in the NFL recently, as a recent memory, this would have been, that 12 minutes on the fourth quarter, putting your fours up, that didn't mean anything, right? This drive and this game in general, really, I appreciated it, and I think that I just enjoyed watching this. So we're gonna watch it. But this is the type of stuff, man, when drives are meaningful like this and it's not just chunk play after chunk play. I'm not talking chunks. Chunks are fine. Intermediate, that's okay. But when it's just big play after big play after big play, it really dilutes the value of the game and of what that big play means and what just a regular run play means. It's like trying to drink caffeine after you've been on crack for a long time. You know what I mean? The caffeine is not going to do anything for you. The meth, though, yeah, you probably hooked on that. So now you know what I'm saying? Like, life just sucks without meth. And that's what it's like when you're just throwing the football everywhere and it's 60-yard play here, pick six here, because all you're doing is throwing it, the riskiest plays. That's meth, It just ruins life. And this was akin to what I remember life being like in football.
Stafford looking to be his best here. Has some protection, zips it underneath the Corum on a sidearm throw. And Blake Corum with a big run. He's got 15 on the reception. Stafford coming off a third quarter where he was 5 of 6 for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he has been hot.
Yeah, he's been hot, and the Seattle defense has given up more deep completions today than any game under Coach McDonald. They're kind of hunting him, and Stafford's an aggressive quarterback anyway. We've seen all his no-look passes. He can throw the ball to any part of the field, and because he's got this amazing arm talent, it opens up underneath parts of the field, and Seattle just hasn't been able to stymie him in any of the games they've faced this season.
Kyron Williams is wide open out of the backfield, makes a nice move, and still on his feet. He's got a first down.
Tough, great play. Great play, pitch and catch, yak.
Williams to move the chains.
I think when you talk about this passing offense too, and they're running it really well too, Williams and Corum.
And you're starting the fourth quarter off hot, right? Like 2 big plays, you're moving the ball. It looks good. It looks like you're probably going to end up taking the lead at this rate.
Done a good job pressing edge of the defense. But so much of good offense is standing in there against, elite pass rushes, delivering the ball accurately, and finding the open receivers. When you call downfield passes like he did on that last play, McVay, and no one's back there, you need the poise by a veteran quarterback to go, okay, let me just throw it underneath. You get it to your halfback, makes the guy miss, and there's more yards. It's so surgical. It's so...
This guy got shook out of his shoes. Was that him?
So precise, but then they also have an explosive element.
Nah, hopefully he's all right.
Why they're first overall in offense, first in pass, first in scoring. So many incredible stats all season long.
You saw Drake Thomas come out. Tyrese Knight is in for him at linebacker. On first down, another play action. Stafford looking deep, loaded up, going deep down there from upfield, but he was covered like glue by Woolen that time.
Look at the atmosphere, though, man. We got a meaningful drive, and it's the fourth quarter of a conference championship. Look at the fans. They're invested. Everybody's, shivering. Man, this is awesome. This is football, bro. This is sick. I'm telling you, bro.
There's been an interesting
That's what you live for.
Right, the game's been so well played, but there have been a couple of mistakes that have led to score. Here, the muff punt. Xavier Smith picked up there. They scored on the next play to Jake Bogo.
It's a game-changing play.
So that definitely worked. And then the mistake by Woolen. It was a 4th and 12 to 20. So they go right up top to Puka.
You can't have that.
There's been many mistakes, but when there have, each team has capitalized.
Yeah, they've taken advantage.
And that's what happens in a conference championship game, right? Man, I grew up watching the NFL. That was my favorite form of football, right? In a conference championship game, if you fuck up, bro, it's going to cost you. Because that team on the other side is killers, too.
Great teams are taking advantage of mistakes, and there hadn't been many, KB, but those little ones have been costly for both teams.
Stafford blitz is coming, stands in and delivers to Parkinson in stride. First down Rams, and he's upended down at the 35.
Such great protection up front by this offensive line, coached by my former teammate Ryan Wendell. That pocket is clean. The launch point they just can't get to. Parkinson ends up being the 4th or 5th read. He's got a defensive end haul in coverage. And they just continue to move the chains. Shot called, is not shot taken, and there.
That's a football guy right there, man. That guy has not left the film room in 2 years.
Wendy right there. What a championship performer.
He's sitting in there with the lights off, man. He's just been in there, bro. They forgot to let him out.
He was, and he's doing the same thing as a coach.
Stafford can't find anyone. Comes underneath the Corum, and he's tackled immediately after just a couple-yard gain. As Eamon Warriors there has had an active game, just like he has had all year. Boy, it's almost like a catch your breath, right? We didn't think the way this started it was going to be like this, but it's just been an offensive explosion similar to a few weeks ago, week 16.
And I just appreciate Stafford so much and his style of play today and throughout this entire season. 37 years old, but for a quarterback that uses his brain and processes information, the older you get, you have all the answers to the test. You know situational football, you have true ownership of the offense. It's the only way you can defeat the top-ranked defense in the league.
Second down underneath again as Corum makes a catch and tackled short. It'll be a 3rd down at about 2 that time. That time it was Jones in on the tackle. Stafford just taking what's there.
Yeah, and you see the pass rush. There's just nothing to be seen from this.
In the shell, the Seahawks Seattle secondary is really expanding and giving up that underneath stuff. It's a little early to be doing that if you ask me, but hey, I don't get paid to coach football at this point in time, so
Really
what do I know?
Pass rush that Seattle's had all season long. Because the ball comes out of his hands so quickly, it's so fatiguing for the defensive line. I
mean, really, compared to these guys, I don't know shit. But I feel like game management stuff, man, I don't know about that, bro. I feel like you like even at the end of the game, defensive aggression is always, I feel like, the right move. Because you can't just sit back there and man, let them pick you apart. Be aggressive, play a lot of press. Defense is where I think you be aggressive. And you're trying to shut stuff down and create field position advantages, create turnovers.
Playing with the same hope that they can
and in this era, even defensive touchdowns.
To get there.
Now, of course, it doesn't mean be undisciplined, run up the field, but I'm saying when it comes in terms of your play calling, with respect to your play calling, you know, you got to keep it aggressive. But your defense should be disciplined in the way they play as players.
3rd and 1. Stafford another fake over the middle.
Oh.
It's dropped. Oh, Parkinson might have walked in.
That is a big drop.
And the Rams aren't hesitating. They're going to go.
Costly drop, and Nwosu is falling out.
Very costly drop.
Underneath, I thought he was going to pick that.
Sometimes those, man, when you get underneath, when you have a guy coming in underneath like that, right? And he looks like he's about to get a hand on it, it really fucks up your timing as a receiver because you're like going to catch it, and then you're like, oh, I got to react to the tip, and then it comes in where it was supposed to come in anyway. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's really fucky. Those situations are tough. But you got to catch the ball. I mean, you got to catch it.
Not sure Stafford saw that. The hard sell play action.
Like right there.
Right.
And he actually did. Looks like he probably scraped it a little bit. Might have altered the trajectory just a tiny bit. Just enough.
You get the team all the way aggressive that way.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Oh, man.
You got to catch it, though. You got to catch it, though. There's really no other. You know, you got to catch the ball. And it's 4th and 1.
Run the ball.
4th and 1. They're going to throw it. Stafford in trouble.
Oh, picks it up on his legs. What a fucking beast, man. Bro, that guy is my fucking pick, I'm telling you. I don't know what I mean by that, honestly, but that's my pick at quarterback, dog. Like, he's not the best quarterback in the league. I don't think he ever has been. but he's up in that category. He's severely underrated, if you ask me. And bro, like it's because of plays like that. I still remember he beat the Cowboys. I believe it was the Cowboys, but he in Detroit he had a touchdown on like a running clock. He got everybody set and just did a QB sneak like in the spur of the moment, scored, won the game. Like shit like that, bro. That is a smart football player. That's a heady football player. That's a guy you want to coach because that's a guy who's locked in. He knows the game, and he just knows the game. Like he just knows the game.
All over the place, but Stafford, who never runs, picked it up.
Oh my God. There was a decent look inside if you just hand it off, but thought with a 4-man front.
And now if you're the Seahawks, though, here's the thing with this, right? At this point, if they score a touchdown, you're going to get the ball back. So you're not tweaking, but you're like, you know, okay, we got to get a stop because we don't want to be in that situation, right? We don't want to be down.
Get something for just a yard. Stafford feeling it. He's got the tackle.
And this is also, Stafford is probably one of the last true traditional quarterbacks remaining. Like real old school traditional. Darnold, I would say, is actually one of those guys too, but he has some type of speed. I mean, I don't know, man. Herbert, but he also uses his legs. But a guy who just stands in the pocket, rotates, reads the field, makes a throw, and that's what they do every play. You know what I mean? You're not running a rollout RPO. You're not no shenanigans. You know what I mean? No shenanigans. There's not many of them left.
DeMarcus Lawrence, who's done such a great job this year. Stafford shrugs him.
You look at the college level, there's even fewer. Everybody's, it's all shenanigans. And obviously guys who can throw the football. They're still very talented, honestly more skilled these days. But this style I'm talking about is starting to really become, invisible.
Not today, brother. What a run.
10th play of the drive. Cora. Flag flies far into the field, and he goes nowhere.
Boom.
Eamon again.
Big play by the DB. Read that, get downhill.
Yeah, maybe an offside there, KB. Mafe looked like he kind of jumped.
Offside. Defense number 48. 5-yard penalty. It's 1st and 5.
And just what an MVP performance today by Matthew Stafford, finding the open guys.
It's a big penalty.
His total command. Not many teams can come into this environment with this fan base.
You think about that, that's a down and a 10-yard swing, if you think about it. That's a big penalty. At this stage of the game, where we're at right now in the red zone, huge penalty.
How?
I don't know if it's the red zone, but I've termed the 35 and in the attack zone. That's what I call it in modern day football. I call the 35 and in the attack zone. I coined that phrase, and I think it's a very apt phrase because the red zone, man, you don't need to be in the red zone to score these days. You can attack from the 35 and in. When you're fucking 35 and in, man, that's scoring distance for most NFL offenses in 2026. So I call that the attack zone.
Supportive they are of their team, the explosiveness that they have in the return game. And it just, in the end, falls on Stafford's shoulder. And he's finding Adams, he's finding Puka, he's finding his tight ends, he's finding his backs. He's doing everything he can as a great signal caller, future Hall of Famer. That's why they love him, that's why they pay him, that's why they're in this position.
So 1st and 5 after the penalty. Stafford looks to the screen, it's not there. Now shovels it out to Nakua. What a great play that was. And Nakua's got a 1st down.
Like that was I don't know if that was an option or if that was just balling out. But man, that's a hell of a play design if that was designed that way.
I don't think that was the intent of the play, was it?
Okay, you could practice that 100 times in practice, and Puka will never touch that ball. He's basically a disguise on this play, but Stafford's like, I don't want to run it. Puka, you do something with it.
I mean, I don't know, though. Like, that could low-key be some sort of, like, I mean, what do you call that? What is that? Like a swing screen draw option? Fuck, man.
And he certainly knows what
That is some sort of RPO.
If I would have seen Stafford rush the ball twice on the same
Nah,
drive.
yeah, it's not. Okay, clearly he was not. That was not designed. He was blocking. He was blocking and expected the play to be over. But heady play by the quarterback. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, Stafford does this shit for real.
I think he felt the same way. So it is a first down. They can get another first down at the 2.
And I think he made some comments.
6.5 to play.
Yeah, but he does that shit for you.
Stafford over the middle again. Nakua in traffic, stymied at the 7.
And look at this. You start the ball at the beginning of the fourth quarter, about 12 minutes left, and you run a 6-minute drive. You're now in the red zone, the actual red zone.
Field, a lot what we've seen with Kubiak's use of JSN. He's in the backfield. They use him in Seattle, saying, we're not going to let you get a free release. So they jam him. It's called butching him as he comes out of the backfield. And Puka still finds a way.
Nakua now 7 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown. This epic drive from LA. 12th play of it coming here.
Man, fuck y'all, bro. Not everybody's going to understand that, but the ones that do, fuck y'all, man. No bull. I'm coming for y'all, man.
Kyron Williams salutes one tackle, tripped up almost immediately. And it's going to be a 3rd down.
Yeah, this elite run defense, you see Knight kind of flying in there to make a tackle. It's hard to run, and those safeties are tight. Precision passing, a little bit of leverage. That's all Matthew needs. That's all he's looking for. We'll see if he can dial something up. There's Adams. He's been a dominant receiver down here in the low red area. Of course, got a lot of other options. Williams, Puka. It's one-on-one. He usually goes there.
Stafford looking that way, not open. Now, searching. Sidearm throwing it, and it's knocked away.
And that's not bad when nothing is there. He extended the play as a slow, traditional quarterback. No offense. Man, but that was a big down, 3rd and 4, because you are not kicking this field goal here, man. You needed that.
Witherspoon got it. Intended for Mumpfield, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, great coverage. He looks over at Devontae. I was saying one-on-one, but it ends up being a 2-on-1. You see Julian Love has a little help out there on Job. There's Julian Love supporting that. So it gets Stafford to the right side, and Nakua really can't spring free. Maybe he's got a shot at the front of the end zone.
Fourth down. Stafford looking, throwing it.
And see,
It's complete.
that is the one thing about the traditional quarterback that I don't like, is that they will throw that football. When they're out of options, they're going to try to throw it to the best option. A new school guy is going to try to extend the play. And when you extend the play, shit opens up. That's the thing that I would prefer. That's like the trade-off, right? And honestly, I'm not saying I prefer one style of quarterback over the other, but that right there, he really wasn't open, but you just wanted to give him a chance because what are you going to do with your legs? You're not confident in your legs, and I get it. But that's a big drawback to the traditional quarterback and that style of play.
Seattle takes over.
Yo, come on, shut up, bro. You just got, get away from him, bro. You just made a play, bro. What? Get away, bro. The last thing you need right now is a flag. Just go back to the sideline. Take the W. Bro, but, I mean, look. Man, if I was on that sideline, I would be all the way over here, bro. By this cameraman yelling at him, get the fuck to the sideline. No, you can't. Nah, I would get flagged.
Makes the play.
But, man,
Seahawks deny the Rams.
what a drive. That was the game right there. That ended up being the game. They ended up running the clock out, icing it with a couple first downs and taking some knees. But that's football right there, dude. Fourth quarter, first drive of the fourth quarter, long drive. You got to score. If you don't, you might not get the ball back. Every drive is valuable. Every play is valuable. There's actual suspense, and the possession means something, right? And that's what, to me, as a purist, football means. You value that ball, you value the possession, and you got to score, man. You got to make shit happen. You got to move the chains. You can't be taking all these crazy, wild risks. That's not disciplined to me, and that's not how football works. And this was a great kind of reversion to the way that it used to be. Man, like, comment, subscribe. Love y'all, man.